Welcome to Search and Rescue class. I'm Zach Langford, your instructor. I've been full-time with City Deckard here for a year and a half. We will begin with your exits are to your right, to your left, through that hallway. Your bathroom is also right here in the same room to your left, right, whichever it is. All right.
Well, which one is it, left or right?
That would be y'all's left.
Good.
All right, so we're going to go over rescue today, different things about rescue. Search and rescue, if you want to be technical there. So our objectives today, we're going to learn about search and rescue, learn how to perform a search and or rescue. And we're going to learn different kind of carry methods in rescues. Coordinating search and rescue. Firefighters must plan and coordinate all activities to support the search and rescue. The fire may need to be controlled before search and rescue can begin. So I'm going to hit on this first one here. So if you've got guys on the roof trying to vent while trying to do a search, if they vent wrong, you can burn these guys alive. Does that make sense to everybody? All right.
Say that one more time, please.
If you've got guys going into search and you've got guys up here on the roof trying to ventilate, if they ventilate in the wrong spot, it can cause the fire to move towards these guys and burn them alive.
Burn them alive?
Yeah. Seriously injure them. And or your victim that you're searching and trying to rescue. Alright, so your size up here. You're going to evaluate critical factors, develop a search and rescue plan based on conclusions. So your critical factors are going to be things like your your risk-benefit analysis. So if you've got fire blown out of every window of a structure and you know you've got somebody inside, is it going to be safe for me to send my guys in to search for that guy or that victim if there's fire blown out of every window? If you've got, fire just showing from the Delta side of the house and the victim's possibly in the Bravo side bedroom, could you go in and do a search and possibly rescue them safely?
Should be able to.
All right. So once you get all your critical factors, you have manpower, the water supply, all that fun stuff developed as well, you can base a conclusion and go for that. Like I was talking before, the risk-benefit analysis. Consider the risks and benefit of the operation. Peyton, what do you think that means?
Risk a life to save a life.
Okay. Good answer. Occupancy factors. Rescue occupants who are in most immediate danger. Consider where occupants are likely to be located. Observations. Look for clues to indicate whether or not building is occupied. Chris, what would be an observation you'd make to tell me if somebody was home or not?
If there's cars on the driveway.
Okay. What else?
If the neighbors come out running and saying there's somebody inside the house.
All right.
Now let me talk about that. Just because there's no cars and it's an abandoned building, do you still search it?
Yeah, because you might have a squatter.
I agree with Chris on that. Obviously, we're going to go back to this right here. Like I said before, do you think you can send guys into this abandoned structure here and do a search safely?
No.
I don't think so. I think that's a little bit fire.
Okay. A little bit fiery here. What about this backside back here? What do we see from there?
Can't tell.
Can't tell you.
Oh, it's a 360.
Exactly.
We done a 360.
Hopefully my officer would have done that, but things happen and you want to do that. But it's just if you can, in an abandoned structure and it's safe enough, I'm all for going and searching for squatters, but don't send guys into something that looks like this out of all four sides of the structure. Occupant information. Obtain accurate information from occupants who have escaped. Firefighter Morris, what do you think that means?
The people that was living at the residence when it caught on fire.
Okay.
That's what I mean, the people that live there.
Well, what else could you get from that?
Where it started, maybe?
Where it started, but is there anybody else in that structure? You know, I mean, could Mama Randy come out and tell me that her baby's in the back left corner? You know, she should know where her baby's at, you know. Building size and arrangement, back to what Firefighter Morris said, you know, they can tell you somebody that's escaped can tell you building size and the arrangement of a home or structure. So floor plan can be very helpful in planning and assigning teams. Pre-incident plans contain valuable layout information. That right there is a big thing. If it's a commercial building, what can that tell me, Megan?
You could possibly have the blueprints, maybe, of the building.
Okay. Chris, what's one more thing?
Could tell you where your major electrical is and your major gas shutoffs and things like that.
Okay. So this could also tell you, you know, is there a closet that a kid might go hide in? You know, is there propane somewhere that could make things go south really, really quick? It's just, that can save you a lot of time having those.
Where do you get your pre-incident plans from?
So you can, pre-incident plan is something that your department's gonna have to go out and do. Come up with some sort of form. We have our own. We ask for a business name, 2 emergency contacts. You know, we also look for where the electrical shutoff is, like Firefighter Stevens said there. You know, things of that nature, gas shutoffs, if there's an alarm system, things of that nature.
Do we, pre-incident homes, can we walk in people's homes?
No, but you can, in the building process, go get permission from the builders to walk through as their building and get a general layout, and you could kind of form one off of that.
What if that house is out of major remodel since the building?
So that's where your codes enforcer comes into play, and he should get together with whoever, like for here, our codes enforcer happens to be our assistant chief, and he can come to us and say, hey, this home just had this remodel, they got this building permit, and this is what they're doing, so on and so forth. And he could even ask permission from the homeowners or whoever's doing the renovation, if you could, if the guys on duty or if your volunteer department, get together and go through it.
Why does we have no codes? Because I know out in the county that we have no codes.
Other than that, you can get to, I mean, if you're a firefighter in a rural department, you see something getting remodeled, stop in and say, hey, I'm with the volunteer fire department. You know, do y'all care if we do a walkthrough of the home since it's being remodeled, just so if something was to happen, we have an idea of what we're coming to? And then you can go back to your department and say, hey, in case, you know, we have to do a search at this home, can we have like a drill night one night and go out to this residence while they're remodeling and do a walkthrough and maybe get some sort of pre-plan?
Do people let us do that?
I mean, most homeowners, I feel like, will let you. Because, you know, if their house is on fire and little baby Jim Bob's stuck back there in that back bedroom, but you don't know the layout, that's going to take you more time, more manpower to search that whole house. Not saying that you don't need to search that whole house, but if you know little Jim Bob's stuck back there in that back room, you can go right there and get Jim Bob out before the inevitable happens.
Do we just knock the window out where Jim Bob is?
You could, but that goes back to developing a search and rescue plan.
Whose decision made to make that call?
Your ICP commander. Sorry for the interruption. Any questions?
they don't have the manpower to look over the pre-incident plans during the fire.
Well, so in theory, in my mind, I'm not saying this is right, I know it is, but in theory, your incident, you're hopefully gonna have at least 2 guys, hopefully. I'm not saying that always happens, but, you know, by the time you get, if you have automatic mutual aid set up like we do with the rural departments here in the county, that rural department has at least 1 full-time department coming to them. So if there's an pre-incident plan book in your first 2 apparatus, somebody from a neighboring department can grab that book and find where they're at and say, okay, this is what this looks like, this is where everything's at. Does that make sense?
So a full-time department is just gonna walk on over a volunteer department just to get to the pre-plans?
Not necessarily. I'm saying, you know, if the volunteer department has 1 guy there, the full-time department hopefully is bringing at least 2 people, I would say, and they can, whoever's already on scene, say, hey, can you help me out by getting the pre-plans and seeing what I've got, and assist me with whatever needs to be done off that pre-plan, getting information off that, passing along to an incident commander, or so on and so forth. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It does.
Now we're gonna go, next we're gonna hit on how to perform different kind of rescue areas. Give me just a moment. All right. So obviously we're back to the search and rescue. Again, objectives here, we're gonna learn, you know, how to carry a victim out with 2 people. So me and firefighter Cornette there, we're inside of a residence doing a search and we come upon a victim. We know how to carry that victim out safely without hurting myself or that victim. 2-person extremity carry. Has anybody heard of this before? No?
I have it.
You haven't? Okay. So it requires no special equipment. It's good to know, so I don't have to ask for Bobby Joe outside to bring me anything special to be able to do this. Or I don't have to carry anything in with me, which obviously I hope you have some kind of tool with you. Can be performed in narrow, tight spaces. You got hoarders these days. They like to hoard stuff up, and you normally have a pathway that is maybe half this table to crawl through or walk through. So you can still get them out in a narrow, tight space. Focuses on the carry of the carry of the victim's extremities. Does that make sense to you? Focus of the carry is on the victim's extremities.
So it may be a little bit harder to do this if there was somebody who had diabetes and lost a leg.
Yeah, but you could still adapt and overcome in that situation.
What about they lost both legs?
You still adapt and overcome. We'll hit on that here in just a moment. Just sit tight with me. Any other questions, concerns, comments?
No.
Not yet.
I just want to know how you carry 2 people can carry somebody.
For performing a 2-person extremity carry, here's where we're going to hit on that. 2 firefighters help the victim to sit up. You're going to sit them up on their butt. You okay, firefighter Cornette?
Yeah, sorry.
Are they conscious or unconscious?
Well, probably would be unconscious if you're going to have to be doing this. Most likely. Does this mean, if you're having to carry this person out like this, they've probably been inside this burning structure and has inhaled a lot of toxic smoke and gases and may become unconscious. So next, the first firefighter kneels behind the victim and goes under the arm and grasps their wrist. So you're essentially going to look like this. You're going to be essentially kind of hugging them from behind, up under their arms.
At the time.
Kind of sort of, except you're going to be a little higher up on. You're going to be up around this chest area. But kind of sort of, it's good to think of. There we go. Step 3, the second firefighter Second firefighter here in the black helmet. You got Chief back here doing some work. Black helmet here. Backs between the victim's legs and grasps the victim behind the knees. Right there behind that knee.
Like in the thigh or the calf?
It's right there at the knee.
Right at the knee?
Right at the knee.
Like the knee armpit.
Yeah, there you go.
The knee armpit. I ain't never heard of that one.
The firefighter gives the command. The first firefighter, so in this picture here is going to be the chief because he's got a white helmet on. Chief or assistant chief. You never know. Gives the command to stand and carry the victim away walking straight ahead.
So who's the first one, who's the second one?
So, first firefighter is going to be the one that goes up under those arms.
Okay.
Alright, so he's
I
going
missed
to.
it. I won't pay attention.
It's alright.
So is it always that person that's under the arms? Does it matter if it's a firefighter there and a chief at the legs? Is it always the person?
Always the person at that head.
Always the person at the head.
So what if Godzilla's got you trapped and you can't come back the way you came with the victim?
Yeah, I'm trying to understand that, but we'll go along with it. So, are you asking that if you came this way?
Why can't the guy in the front be number one for a change instead of somebody in the back?
Well, because in my theory, I like being the best. So that person at the head makes all the commands. Is they're protecting that head, where your brain stem, all that kind of stuff is. Okay, now back to firefighter Stevens here. So are you saying that if you came the way they're walking out, you can't go back that way?
Yes.
So essentially you're gonna go, if you can go back this way and get out to a window, then you're just gonna turn around and walk that same way. But he's still gonna be in charge because he's at the head. He can keep control of that head and that neck and protect it from dropping, hitting the ground, and possibly causing more injuries. Any other questions, comments, concerns? No?
Why is it important to do a two-person extremity carry?
Okay, good question. Sorry for doing it. So, in my mind, it's a lot safer to do it this way because you've got two guys here splitting the weight, splitting the exertion, you could say, to perform this. Then, say me, I'm a smaller guy. I'm not saying that I can't do this, but if I had to carry, if I come upon firefighter Cornette here, and I'm having to struggle to drag him out. He's just a regular old civilian. He's not a firefighter then, but if I'm struggling to drag him out, if I've got a partner who's just standing there watching me, I can say, hey, once you get down there at your feet, perform this, and we can carry him out together and get out of here faster. See what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what if your visibility is so bad you can't see, you to stand up and walk to carry somebody out with extremity carry?
Well, that's when you're going to do a different carry. You can push them out. So that firefighter's going be down here at the legs. That's still going to be at the head. Or if you reverse and put him at the head, somebody's going to be at the head. And you're going to drag them out while that firefighter down there pushes. Does that make sense to everybody? Right. Cool beans. Any other questions, comments, concerns?
I still don't understand it.
Okay. But here in just a minute, we're going to go over it some more. We're going to go outside and do this. We're going to practice just to make sure everybody's.
So whenever you go under the arms,
Yes.
you just grab them under the arms like this. You grab their wrist like this.
All right. Firefighter Stevens, can you come here for So we're going to demonstrate this real quick, just so you can see, and maybe this will help him too. But we're going to go out and I'm going to have y'all do this, but I'm going to show you. Okay, so you're gonna come up under his arms like this, and you're gonna grab your wrist. So you're up under him like this, right there at the chest. Does that make sense? You get it now?
I'm picking up what you're putting down now.
All right.
Was it be standing up? Or
Well, no, he's gonna obviously be laying down, but he's still he's gonna be sitting just like he is in that chair. And I'm gonna come around and grab him and grab my wrist up under them armpits. All right. We're gonna go outside. We're gonna show Mr. Morris here how to do this.
We'll go outside.
We're now going to move outside. All right. Now we're going to practice our practicals here. I'm going to show you how to do this, and I'm going to have you all demonstrate it for me. And then we're going to go take a test after this.
Oh, no, I don't do, I'm not good at tests.
So it's understandable. We'll get you through it. All right. So we've got our proper PPE on. Everybody's got their own PPE. Firefighter 1, me, is going to reach down here and set Mr. Randy up on his butt. All right. Make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Can you see?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Firefighter 2, Firefighter Stevens, can you kneel down behind? There you go. And grab up under them knees. Good. All right. And we're going to lift. Okay.
Hey, Creek Communications, coming out of Southern Tennessee. 93 copy.
1, 2, 3. And now we can safely carry Mr. Randy here out of the structure. All right, we're gonna go down on 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. Sorry, Randy. Now I would like to see y'all do this for me. Firefighter Morris, Firefighter Cornett, y'all are up first.
Okay, I have my proper PPE on. Come up to the patient. Sit the patient up,
Okay.
wrap around his arms.
You grasp that wrist.
I grab my wrist.
All right, there you go.
Alright, 1, 2, 3. We lift the patient up and carry the patient out. We're gonna drop
All right,
him.
good deal.
1, 2, 3. Oh.
Good job, Randy.